Hi everybody. I know it's been a while since I've posted a video, what with doing the renos and everything, and then my dad passed away the beginning of May. Some of you may have seen the life sketch that his celebration of life, I should say, that we posted on the channel. And that was May 6th, and so things sort of just took, things got dropped. But the garden's still growing, so are the weeds. It's just been crazy. And you'll see what a garden looks like when it doesn't get taken care of quite like you think it should be. But we were gone for a few days as well. But everything is growing, and what we have planted is doing good. The weeds that we haven't planted are also doing exceptionally well. But let's take a look in the greenhouse and see what we got. Forgot to mention, today is July 2nd. This plant on the left here, right here, was supposed to be an early girl. It's not. I'm not sure what it is, because this one over here is also an early girl, which is only so tall. And this one goes all the way up to the ceiling now. And because by the time I determined it was an indeterminate tomato, I had so many beautiful runs with, main stems with it, like this one I got to cut out, that we have, I think, 5 stems on this tomato plant. I'm going to give it fertilizer. I'm going to let it go. Now over here we have our cucumber plants. We've got lots of little cucumbers that are growing, and I had just put these frames up, but I need to get my tomato hooks up and get them going to the ceiling as well. Now this massive jumble mess of tomato plants are ones that I started the 14th of December. The plants were only supposed to be 12 inches high. They're obviously not. I did end up transplanting them out here towards the end of April. They looked like they were going to die, and then they've come back. I've done nothing to them except put a frame up and let them grow. And as you can see, they are just loaded with tomatoes, and they're really good flavored tomatoes. Now over here I have another tomato growing. It's one that seeded itself from last year. We'll see. But I mean, this one's a tiny little one, but we get, oh, here, let's see. This one's a bigger tomato, but they're so good. Now I got to get other things planted in here as well. This one here also is a tomato that's self-seeded. All of these tomatoes here, self-seeded. I know these tomatoes here will get bigger, and I can tell because of the size of the flower. Now when I come out here, I always give them a shake because you get better pollination, because they do self-pollinate. Now this tomato over here in this corner is actually a sucker that I took from my big beef. Let me show you. Okay, there comes the puppies to check things out. So this is my big beef right here, and they are growing exceptionally well. Now I did buy these plants because I was so busy, didn't have time to get them done. But what I have done that's different, I haven't seen anybody else do this, is I let one of the suckers go. So this one actually has 2 main lines, I guess you would call it now, all the way up. So, and it's getting tall. But I mean, look at how many tomatoes are on here, and we've already been harvesting because we've been eating them. So gonna have tomato sandwiches for supper. That's why I'm down here. But I mean, just look at it, just loaded. I am gonna put some tomato fertilizer in here yet and go, but this is my second big beef as well, and that one on the bottom is gonna be supper tonight. But I mean, just look at the tomatoes on here. They're just doing fabulous. So I'm really happy about that. Now here's that other one I showed you right at the beginning. It's like got many stalks on it. So back here I've got some sun golds. And we've been eating those. The dogs love them. And these ones, like it's 10 feet in here. And so we've already hit the ceiling. And I'm just gonna let them come down the other side. And who knows how big these things will get. Now, over here, these are sad looking tomato plants. But what they are is suckers that I took off of the big beef. So this one's already starting to send up a new top to it. And let me show you this one back here. This one here in the corner is a big beef. And this was a sucker as well. So look how big it is. It's starting to get tomatoes. You can see some tomatoes in there. And it's an easy way to get extra plants when you're growing. Just caught her, but Missy was in here dinging at the tomatoes. So now this one here is just a little tiny patio tomato plant. And I just stuck it in the ground. So, Missy loves her tomatoes. So, let's see. Let's go look at the outside tomatoes. So here's some aromas I have growing. I got different kinds of aromas. These are all one kind. Now, I live, oh man, weeds, like I said. Where do they come from? I live in the Okanagan in southern BC. And where we live, we almost constantly have a little breeze blowing. So I never have to really worry about mildew or whatever it's called. My tomatoes are close together. I will get in there and prune them somewhat. But I mean, as you can see, lots of tomatoes and they're growing great. Now over here, I got a different variety. I mean, look at this one. It's just loaded and got some really good ones. Now the white on there is just cottonwoods. They've been blowing all over the place. So I've got the Roma tomatoes everywhere. Going to be making lots and lots of sauce and chili and all that kind of stuff. Okay, let's go down farther. The kiddos are following, so let's take a look at this tomato plant. I mean, look at this. And these are good-sized tomatoes, and it's the 2nd of July. So over here is my tomato bed. Oh, I've got some tomatoes ripening in there. And I need to get in here, do some pruning. I have 3 eggplants. Oh, I have a baby eggplant. Look at it coming. Need to get those staked up. Now, the tomato plants down here are determinate, so they're only going to get so tall, except for these tomato plants are from last year, self-seeded. I'm going to let them grow, see what we've got. And over here, I again let a sucker grow and going up. And this is, again, a sucker that I took off of my Sun Gold's inside. So I have 2 of those in here. Just going to move something out of my way. And then down here on the end, right here is another big beef. And that also was a sucker. And I mean, you can see my Sun Golds are getting really high already. And then over on this side are just some other tomato plants that I have bought. I mean, look at all the tomatoes coming. What are these? Let's see. These are cherry tomatoes, sweet 100. So these are sweet 100s. I mean, look at all of them in there. So let's see. There will not be any shortage of tomatoes in my world this year. There wasn't either. Last year we had lots too. So everything's growing good. So that's what the garden is looking like so far. Been eating lots of broccoli. And here, pulled out the cabbage. We're making sauerkraut. And just transplanted some zucchini in here, what, 4 days ago, 5 days ago? Oh! Look what I just spotted. Didn't even notice. Look at those! Yay! More eggplants. Everything is growing. I mean, my raspberry bushes, gotta get out here and pick. These are my summer ones. Over here are my fall raspberries, so no berries on them yet. But I got 3 rows of them and just berries everywhere. All right, let's go pick those tomatoes. So I am out here every other day picking tomatoes. But I mean, look at that tomato. Isn't it gorgeous? So I'm going to leave that one for a couple more days. There's another one. Going to put it in there. I know a lot of people pick their tomatoes before they're ripe. and let them ripen on the shelf. I don't do that. Well, I do with a few of them, but overall, I don't. So, these ones are smaller, and that's the thing that's nice with some of these plants. Now, I don't know what this tomato plant is, don't have a clue, so, but they are tasty. Whoops, lost that one. I'll get it back. Very tasty tomatoes. Missy's in there trying to steal tomatoes. Okay, is there anything else on this plant I should pick? Nope, I think we're gonna leave it at there for now. And I'm gonna go pick a bunch of sun gold. And go down here. Might as well fill up the bowl. And some of them are tiny little ones, and other ones are nice sized tomatoes. And I love the sun golds. They are such a nice tasting tomato. I know they're a hybrid, but that just means two heirlooms probably that have been crossbred, and they are very, very tasty. Okay, I had been down here yesterday and picked some, so that's what we're getting today. All right, let's take these up and we're gonna make some sandwiches. If you're gonna have a tomato sandwich, you might as well have a tomato sandwich. And there we go, supper. So, glad you could join me once again at my mini homestead. And I hope to get more videos. I mean, I've got a bunch done. I just gotta, or videos taken. I just gotta edit them. But, I mean, look at this. Aren't those just gorgeous tomatoes? And it's the 1st of July. So, if you haven't subscribed yet, click on that subscribe button. And don't forget to click on the like button as well. And we'll say goodbye from my mini homestead for now. Bye, everybody.